Okay, the next and the second last video that I am going to upload tonight to help you with your added value revision is about using trigonometry to calculate a side or angle of a right angle triangle, or as some of you talk about in class, your SOHCAHTOA question. Okay, so these three trig ratios, trig formulas, are given to you in your formula sheet. So if you have a right angle triangle with an angle x here, well, the three relevant sides are going to be the hypotenuse over here, which is always in the same place, is always opposite the right angle. The angle which we call opposite is opposite, the side, I apologise, that we call opposite is always opposite this angle. So if x was up here, opposite would be down here. But because x is here, opposite is across from it. And the last one is the adjacent side. And the three formulas that you're given is that sine of x is equal to the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. That cos of x, or cosine of x, is equal to the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. And last of all, that tan, or the tangent of x, is equal to the opposite divided by the adjacent, which we'll have to write in there. These are given to you, you need to know how to use them. So we look at two questions, one to find a side and one to find an angle. Okay, so this is quite a standard question. It says a boat elevator is used to take a boat from the lower canal to the upper canal. It's in the shape of a triangle. The length of the hypotenuse is 109 meters. The height of the triangle is 45. And asks us to calculate the size of angle x. That can all be boiled down to this right angle triangle here. Okay, so let me move down and get some space. First things first, it's asking me to find x here. Okay, so I'm trying to find an angle. That's what I'm looking for, to find x. Here. It is. Okay, a little maths teacher joke there, but let me get rid of that. Not as easy as that, and please don't do that in any of your exams. Trying to find x, so we need to label the sides that are involved, the sides that we know. This 45 meters over here, that's across from x, so that is my opposite side. And 109 meters here is the hypotenuse. So which of my three formulas has the opposite and the hypotenuse in it? Let me go back to them. Sine of x is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, so sine x equals the opposite, which is 45, divided by the hypotenuse of 109. If you're using a proper scientific calculator here, then we've got a bit of an easy job for us. We don't want to work out 45 divided by 109 and work out what that is as a decimal. 45 divided by 109 is 0.41, and we don't want to round that. We can just use that straight away to find out what x is. Okay, so because we're trying to find an angle, what we're going to do is we're going to use this sine, little power of -1, your inverse sine button, on the calculator, and we are just going to put the fraction 45 divided by 109 into that function on the calculator, What that function does is it tells us what angle between 0 and 90 has a sine value equal to that. So to use that function on most calculators, we're going to press the shift key and then sine, and we're going to put 45 divided by 109, put that exact value in, we're not going to round it, and that's going to give us an answer. That gives us 24.38 and then some stuff. So 24.38 ... We're measuring an angle, so we're not going to measure that to multiple decimal points of a degree. Just answer that to the nearest degree. 24 degrees is absolutely fine. Okay, let's look at one where we're trying to find the side. So our little story is that we have a surveyor having to calculate the height of a mobile phone mast. He's 20 meters away from the base of the mast. An angle of elevation, which is the angle he needs to look up to see the top of it, is 52 degrees. Question tells me to calculate the height of the mast, but it tells me to round my answer to 1 decimal point. Okay, and helpfully there's a diagram here that we can use. So I am trying to find the height of the mobile phone mast. I'm trying to find this side over here where I've wrote the big question mark. I have this angle of 52 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I am going to label the sides in terms of what I know. There's X. This side over here is across from it, so that's my opposite. This side down here is next to it. It's not the hypotenuse, so that is my adjacent side. So I look at my formulas, opposite and adjacent. The only one that has both of those in them is tan. So I'm going to fill this in with the information I know. So it tells me that tan of 52 degrees is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So I don't know what my opposite is, so let's just put opposite, divided by my adjacent of 20. Okay, and I want to rearrange this formula so I can find out what my opposite is. I'm dividing by 20, so what I need to do is I need to take that 20 and it goes up here to multiply the tan. Basically, in terms of algebra, what I'm doing is I'm multiplying that side of the equation by 20 to cancel it out, which means I have to multiply that side by 20 as well. So my opposite is 20 times tan of 52 degrees, and that's how we're going to write that into the calculator. Okay, it's 20 tan 52 equals, so 25.59 and then some stuff. 25.59 ... It's important to write this down because I'm then going to round it to 1 decimal place. So we're going to round here. Excuse me, I have 25.5. I then have a 9, which means my 5 is going to be rounded up to a 6. So it's 25.6 meters in height. Look at my diagram. That's reasonable. That's 20. That's not much bigger. If I got an answer somewhere like 70 or 80, then maybe I think I've made a mistake. And that's all there is to those trick questions.